Odds are good you've been seeing plenty of campaign commercials lately. We asked David Pogue to take a closer look at all these mixed messages.
Donald Trump has always loved this country.
We choose freedom.
For a few of us, it's a trickle.
A flood of illegals.
For most of us, a flood. But in Pennsylvania, it's a tsunami of political commercials.
Emails, texts, phone calls, it's in my news feed, it's in social media. In the last 2 days, I counted, I had 30 spam emails in there all about the election. It's unbelievable.
Jack Levis is an independent voter in Bucks County, Pennsylvania, which makes him one of the most desirable voters on the planet.
And how about TV and radio? Anything?
Come on. It's everywhere. Are you kidding me? Ad after ad after ad.
Okay, so yeah, well, I will first apologize to all of the residents of battleground states because I feel their pain. I actually enjoy watching political ads.
Of course she does, because Erica Franklin Fowler is the co-director of the Wesleyan Media Project, which tracks campaign advertising. She also co-authored Political Advertising in the United States.
Do political ads actually convince anybody?
Political advertising does not have the sort of massive influence that sometimes citizens think that it does. Political advertising really only matters at the margin. That doesn't mean the margin doesn't matter, right? The margin in this competitive election cycle is going to be the difference between making it into the White House and not.
And what about negative versus positive?
There's no doubt that negativity is more memorable. It is more emotion-provoking.
Now Kamala wants higher taxes on top
We
of
may
higher
hate
prices.
those attack ads,
Goes for Trump. It's all about getting unchecked power.
but Fowler says the positive ones don't say much.
Citizens hate negativity, but negative ads tend to be more policy-based, more issue-focused, and those details actually are very important for citizens who don't otherwise pay a lot of attention to politics.
It used to be that we all saw the same ads.
10, 9, 8, 7.
In 1964, Lyndon Johnson's Daisy commercial implied that his opponent would launch a nuclear war.
The stakes are too high for you to stay home.
Bush and Dukakis.
And in 1988, the infamous Willie Horton ad
One was Willie Horton, who
made George H.W. Bush's opponent look dangerously soft on crime.
Weekend prison passes. Dukakis on crime.
But these days,
I think the memes might be the thing that stick with us.
you and I won't see the same messages. It's not just 3 TV channels anymore.
You see the social platforms, whether it be Instagram, you see Snapchat, you see TikTok, people's driveways and signs. Everything has become a media channel in a way. And
Tiffany Rolfe is the chief creative officer at the ad agency RGA. She says that targeting ads at individual voters by location or demographic details has become an incredibly precise science.
the way they can target is I think, just mind-blowing. Like, some of these are one-to-one ads. Coconut tree became a big meme across all platforms.
She showed me how many of the ads on TikTok and Instagram are made not by the candidates, but by their supporters.
You know, people like Taylor Swift, who decide to also become a
childless
cat lady herself, and decided to get behind Kamala, and Kamala then will repost that and reshare it. You have people now that have access to creative tools that can put an AI version of Trump on a lion.
Right. So both candidates are now using all their fans as ad agencies.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's our competition out there too, right?
People make their own videos, people do memes, people make their own ads. That's a good thing. That's more participation. What's a problem is when some very wealthy individual or interest puts tens of millions of dollars into these ads that are sometimes manipulative, and we don't know they're doing it.
The spending on political ads this year has broken all records, about $16 billion. And Michael Waldman's concern is not knowing where all that money is coming from. He's the president and CEO of the nonpartisan Brennan Center for Justice.
So this is now a wild west of front groups and hidden spenders reaching people on their phones, targeted very directly to somebody's likes and dislikes.
In 2010, the Supreme Court handed down the Citizens United decision.
You're watching the first wave of an oncoming flood of campaign ads.
That case and subsequent cases removed all limits on what corporations and billionaires can spend on political campaigns.
It struck down a century of campaign finance law. Now politicians know who's giving, the donors know who's giving. The only people who don't know who's giving is the taxpayers.
So you're in the beating heart of this thing. How depressed should we be?
There's legislation that came very close to enactment in the last Congress that would say that you have to disclose who gave the money, and the voter needs to know that. That would make a big difference.
Wow. And it's not out of the realm of possibility that it could happen.
Voters really care about this. Democrats, independents, Republicans really care about it. When people get mad enough, when people get organized enough, throughout history, our country has acted to improve our political system, and it can happen again.
So if you love this country,
The fragmented messages, the ad targeting, and the secret funding may all be new. But if you ask ad executive Tiffany Rolfe, some things will never change.
At the end of the day, it's not just the policies or the product features. It really is like, is this person for me? Do I like this person? You know, do I believe them? And I think no matter what, that will not change.
Just tell the truth, give it to me as it is. What happened to those?
As for Pennsylvania voter Jack Levis, I had one more question for him when we spoke this past week.
Jack, the question is, have you voted?
I'm mailing it today.
Hey!
So it's decided.